ॐ गणेशाय नमः, सरस्वत्यै नमः, श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। ॐ अग्निमीळे पुरोहितं यज्ञस्य देवमृत्विजम् होतारं रत्नधातमम् ऋग्वेदात्मने सूर्यनारायणस्वामिने नमः। इषेतोर्जे त्वा वायवस्थोपायवस्थ देवो वः सविता प्रार्पयतु श्रेष्ठतमाय कर्मणे। यजुर्वेदात्मने सूर्यनारायणस्वामिने नमः। अग्न आयाहि वीतये गृह्णानो हव्यदातये निहोता सत्सि बर्हिषि। सामवेदात्मने सूर्यनारायणस्वामिने नमः। शन्नो देवीरभिष्टय आपो भवन्तु पीतये शय्योरभिस्रवन्तु नः। अथर्ववेदात्मने सूर्यनारायणस्वामिने नमः। घृणिः सूर्य आदित्यो न प्रभावात्यक्षरम् मधुक्षरन्ति तद्रसम्। सत्यं वै तद्रसमापो ज्योतिरसोऽमृतम् ब्रह्म भूर्भुवः सुवरो। छाया सुवर्चलाम्बा समेत श्रीसूर्यनारायणस्वामिने नमः। तरणिर्विश्वदर्शतो ज्योतिष्कृदसि सूर्य विश्वमाभासि रोचनम्। उपयामगृहीतोऽसि सूर्याय त्वा भ्राजस्वत एष ते योनिः सूर्याय त्वा भ्राजस्वते। छाया सुवर्चलाम्बा समेत श्रीसूर्यनारायणस्वामिने नमः। ॐ ह्रां ह्रीं ह्रूं ह्रैं ह्रौं ह्रः। ॐ ह्रां ह्रीं ह्रूं ह्रैं ह्रौं ह्रः। उद्यन्नद्य मित्रमहः आरोहन्नुत्तरां दिवम्। हृद्रोगं मम सूर्य हरिमाणं च नाशय। शुकेषु मे हरिमाणम् रोपणाकासु दध्मसि। अथो हारिद्रवेषु मे हरिमाणं निदध्मसि। उदगादयमादित्यः विश्वेन सहसा सह द्विषन्तं मम रन्धयन्। मो अहं द्विषतो रथम्। मित्ररविसूर्यभानुकगपूष हिरण्यगर्भमरीच्यादित्य सवितर्कभास्करेभ्यो नमः। आदित्यो वा एष एतन्मण्डलं तपति तत्र तारुचस्तदृचा मण्डलगुं सरुचाम्। लोकोऽथय एष एतस्मिन् मण्डले चिर्दीप्यते तानि सामानि ससाम्नाम्। लोकोऽथय एष एतस्मिन् मण्डले चिषि पुरुषस्तानि यजोगुंषि स यजुषाम्। मण्डलगुं स यजुषाम्। लोकस्यैषा त्रय्येव विद्या तपतिय एषोऽन्तरादित्ये हिरण्मयः पुरुष पुरुषः छाया सुवच्चलाम्बा समेत श्री सूर्यनारायण स्वामिने नमः। आदित्यो वै तेज ओजो बलं यशश्चक्षु श्रोत्रमात्मा मनो मन्युर्मनुर्मृत्युः सत्यो मित्रो वायुराकाश प्राणो लोकपालः कः किं कं तत्सत्यमन्नममृतो जीवो विश्व कथमस्वयंभू ब्रह्मैतदमृत एष पुरुष एष भूतानामधिपतिर्ब्रह्मणः सायुज्यगुं स लोकतामाप्नोत्येतासामेव देवतानागुं सायुज्यगुं साश्रितागुं समानलोकतामाप्नोति य एवं वेदेत्युपनिषत्। श्रीछाया सुवच्चलाम्बा समेत श्री सूर्यनारायण स्वामिने नमः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ताम् न्यायेन मार्गेण महीमहीषा। गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम्। समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु। समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु। समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagavan, respected elders, brothers and sisters, Saram to all. I am glad to share my few experiences with Swami. My father was working in Indian Air Force at Bangalore, and every 3 years he used to get transferred to various places. So he asked me to study in my auntie's house, my mother's elder sister, at Ernakulam, Kerala. So my auntie also wanted me to study there because she was having one daughter. She was not having any male issue. So I studied there. I was staying there, and I studied there from the age of 4 till 17 years. My uncle was a very pious and disciplined person, and he was working as a supervisor in one of the private companies, and he was very good in his work, but only he had a little bad habit. He used to have drinks every day at his home. On the other hand, my auntie used to attend bhajan at Swami's devotee's house from the year 1964, and she also used to take me. Lot of vibhuti and honey used to come from that house. So while going for bhajan, my uncle used to tell me, take a vessel and then get the honey and give it. So it went on like that. We never bothered about that. Myself and my auntie used to go to the bhajan. In the year 1966, I finished my SSLC and came to Bangalore to stay with my parents for vacation. After 2-month vacation, I went back to Kerala. Then I saw the drastic changes in my uncle. Then I asked my auntie what has happened. Then she narrated to me as and that. One day my uncle was sitting in his room. He was having his dose as usual, and he was also seeing Swami's photo. Then all of a sudden he got a smell of jasmine flower. Then he thought, why this is coming? Then he went to the other rooms and checked up, and it was not coming. But he came to the same room, he was getting it. Then he started thinking about that. Then he decided, something went on to his mind. He decided that I'll stop drinking. On that moment, he stopped drinking. Afterwards, he never touched this one. It's only because it is humanly impossible to stop a habit immediately, and only because of Swami's grace, he stopped it. And after some time, my auntie told me that honey is coming from Swami's photo. He called my uncle and showed him. Then next day, both my auntie and my uncle saw that lot of vibhuti is coming from Swami's Rama's Pattabhishekam photo, which was a favorite photo for my uncle. So my uncle started thinking about Swami, and so my uncle went to the same house where he told me to bring the honey. He has gone to the same house, so asked about Swami, about his literature, and then started thinking about Swami. He also contacted a few people about Swami's devotees. It went on like that. Then the bhajan, as usual, my auntie started bhajan. We used to sing bhajan along with the auntie. Then a few people joined, like-minded people joined together. They said they want bhajan in their house also. So they had decided to have a house bhajan. Then I used to go, and other people go. Here, my uncle was allergic to sound. He was moving with a sound box, that means Shuddhi box, and he became a sound person. This is only because of Swami's blessings. Then the bhajan went on in the individual houses. Then my another boy and myself used to sing in the bhajan. Invariably, at the end of the bhajan, either for my bhajan, flower will fall down, or his bhajan fall will down. Somehow Swami used to bless us. This went on for some time. Then one person whose mind, a communist man, started thinking that because we are keeping loose flower, it's falling down. So he said that tomorrow onwards we'll keep only garland, put garland for Swami's photo. We will not keep loose flowers. Then we continued the bhajan. Then Swami's blessings continued. That day, the garland got cut in the center and fell down. The activities went on like that. My uncle started taking active part in. He was an active worker. He started active part. He was working along with the Justice Balakrishna Yaradi and late Nadarajan sir in Kerala. Whatever activities used to come in Kerala, he used to look into that. Then this went on well like that. Then one day we had decided that we'll go to Parthi. Uncle has make arrangements, and then we arranged a bus and went to Parthi. And the Parthi, those times crowd was very less. So we were sitting for darshan. Swami came behind my uncle. He kept his eyes on his eyes and said, in Tamil he said, Yaru Chulungo, tell who you are. Then Swami uncle said, Swami, he said, then Eppadi Rikingo, how are you? Fine, Swami. Then he materialized Vibhuti and put it on my uncle's forehead. Then my uncle said that other people has also come. So Swami saw the other people and blessed them. Next day, Swami he used to wear one dhoti inside. That dhoti he gave to my auntie, one pink color dhoti, and one kerchief he gave to my uncle. They had a nice darshan. All along while coming, they were singing bhajan. So they had a nice darshan. So went off. Then, and this, the activities continued. Meanwhile, what happened? A lot of youngsters were there. So the peak of bhajan has gone to such an extent. One of the young boy composed a bhajan song starting Om Brahmam, Om Brahmam, Om Brahmam Saisha, Om Brahmam, Om Brahmam, Om Brahmam Sadguru Nada. It continued like that, different verses. Then this they have sang for anniversary. One of the house Samiti anniversary, they sang this bhajan. Then in Swami's photo, Om appeared with Vibhuti, and Swami blessed her, and it was a big miracle, and Swami blessed them with that. Then in the year 1968, I came to Bangalore permanently to stay with my parents and continue my studies here. In the year 1972, my uncle was transferred to Bangalore. He also shifted his family. I used to go along with my auntie for darshan to Whitefield. One day, myself and my auntie went for darshan. We had our morning darshan. There was a big pond at that time in Whitefield. So we sat there. We used to carry our lunch with them. Then after finishing the lunch, I was sitting there. Lots of cars used to come that day. Then my auntie asked me, why so many cars? That because of my ignorance, I told him, so for Swami's mission, Swami has to talk to a lot of rich people, not poor people like us. He has to talk to rich people. Swami proved to be wrong on the same day. In the evening, he sent word through somebody that one boy with wearing one blue color pant and white color shirt is standing there calling for interview. So they took me and then brought it near the interview room. Swami called me inside. As soon as I saw me, I started crying. I don't know why, because that's the first interview I had with Swami. Then Swami asked him, how are you? He said, don't worry. Then he materialist vibhuti and put it on my forehead. And he said that already in moshma exam patti kavalapadadi. That means already you have written an exam badly, don't worry about that anymore. Then he asked me to go. Then I came out. That was my first interview, and that was my turning point in my life. And on another day, I went along with my sister and her 3-year-old child and went to Whitefield for darshan. There Swami came for darshan. Straight away Swami came to her and said, "Kodantha bandile valayadinnu irukku." Then she said, so, the child is playing in the mud. So my sister immediately went, then cleaned his hand, then brought it to Swami. Swami materialized a lot of vibhuti and put it on his head. Then Swami went for darshan. Then my young sister shared few vibhutis with the members, and then she came up. So that my incense went on like that. In the year 1972, end of 1972, I joined for Seva Dal. Then I used to come for service to Brindavan. In case if I don't come to service for Brindavan, I used to go to leprosarium or I used to go to mental hospital in the city. Then as a Seva Dal, Swami has given me a lot of opportunity, lot of namaskar, lot of blessings he has given me. Once Swami went to Kumbalgod to bless the, I remember it's a blessing Balagangadhar Swamiji, his birthday was there. Swami went by helicopter. So myself and one senior devotee were standing there. Then Swami get down from the helicopter. We had the chance of holding Swami's hand and go till go up to the car. So it was a great blessing for us. Then on another occasion, when the hostel was started, I used to do night duty there. Regularly we used to do night duty. When the Trai Brindavan has started, I used to get duty behind Trai. There is one door used to be there. Lot of VIPs and important letters used to come there. So we used to do duty there. Sometimes surprisingly, Swami used to see from the top floor through the window. He used to see. So we will not be knowing it sometimes. Then all of a sudden, Swami will be seeing it. Then he say, we used to ask in action, bhajanam chesara. Then we used to say, yes, Swami. Lord Swami used to say a lot of prasadam and vibhuti we used to get this one. Then early 1981. One day I was coming for duty to Brindavan. So I met, in the bus, I met Mr. Vishwanathan, he is also a Seva Dal member. I met him. He said that in the press, Mr. Tyagarajan is searching alliance for his daughter. I know that your mother is used to help people by getting horoscopes and exchanging. Hari, why can't you help him get 2 horoscopes to you? I said, okay, I'll ask my mother. So next day I asked my mother. Luckily it was available, so 2 horoscopes she gave me. I came to Brindavan for my duty. Then after finishing my duty, I went to the press. I met Mr. Tyagarajan, and then I told him that I'm handing over these 2 horoscopes to you. Mr. Vishwanathan asked me to hand it over to you. Then he was very happy. Then subsequently while talking, he asked me, what are you doing? I said, I am working in Voltas and I am doing as a Seva Dal, I am working here. Then he asked me, can I get your horoscope? I said, my horoscope is with my father. So if you want, we can talk to him. Then he asked me, can you give me your address? I said, okay. I wrote my address and gave it to him. Subsequently, Mr. Tyagarajan wrote to my father and he got the horoscope. Then at that time, Mr. Tyagarajan knows that Swami is going to conduct his daughter's wedding, but I was unaware of the divine plan. So it went on like that. On 6th July 1981, I got a call from Mr. Tyagarajan from my office. He said that out of 3 horoscopes, Swami has selected your horoscope. I am glad to inform that. And Swami said he will perform the wedding. He said that I am working in Brindavan. I am little busy with some university work. 2 days I will be busy. On the coming Thursday, I will come to your house and then I will meet your parents. So on Thursday he came, he met my parents and he met me also. He was very happy to inform that Swami has selected your horoscope. Swami said he will conduct the marriage and Swami will take care of everything. Then I immediately said, uncle, you go ahead with the arrangements for the marriage. As per the Swami's instruction, I don't want even to see the girl. Then my father and parents were also very happy, but they were little surprised because all along I was refusing to get married, and because of their compulsion, I used to go and see the girl. And then when I say that I don't want to see the girl, and then I agreed, they were little surprised about that. In fact, if you won't believe, then my friends used to say that, we want to stop coming to your house. Whenever you come, your father and mother says, why can't you convince him to get married? Why can't you come along with him for seeing the girl? Like that, they used to do that. So finally, they were little surprised and what. Then on the Tyagarajan asked me, you and parents can come to our house to see the girl so that you can see the girl and our family members can see the boy. Then I said, okay. And next day we went there. We saw all the all the relatives. We went them. See here what happens. We came back very early because there is no demand here. We were only waiting for the command of the Lord. So we came back early. On 13th July 1981, I had a small engagement in my house, and then we finished it. On 18th August 1981. Then Swami Tyagarajan telephoned to me and said that you assemble in Whitefield. That was on a Tuesday. 3 to 4:30 was the Rahu Kalam. So we assembled there in Sai Ram Shed. Then Swami called us for interview after Rahu Kalam. So we went to the interview room. As soon as we reached there, Mr. Ravi Kumar also came there. He was studying in Anandapur. So Swami introduced me to him. Then Swami came to me. Then he asked me in Tamil, Enga vela pandringo? Swami was so sweet. He always used to talk in plural. So Enga vela pandringo? Where are you working? I said, Swami, I am working in Voltas. Evlo sambalam? I said, Swami, 1,200 rupees per month, Swami. And then, Swami, my salary is 1,200 rupees. Then Swami said, Sandosham. Then Swami said, Paisa save pannano. Then I was not knowing the importance of that. That Swami said, you have to save money. I was not knowing the importance at that time, but afterwards I realized what Swami meant by that. Then Swami went to my mother. They said, இவங்களுக்கு அம்மா கிடையாது, பார்த்துக்குங்கோ. She doesn't have a mother, so take care. Then Swami came. Swami immediately to and gave it to everybody. Swami gave Padanamaskaram to everybody. And Swami was so kind, he took the cover and put all the wedding clothes in that and gave it to each one of us. My would-be wife was having her birthday on that day, so she got one more namaskar and she was happy. So we were in a happy mood and we went home. On 19, afterwards I came to know from my wife that on 19, Swami came to the Kalyana Mandap. He saw the Rangoli, he saw the decorations. Then he called for, at that time it was called as Ananda Sai Nilayam. So he called for the canteen manager. The manager came, he said, my guests are coming, so I want to see the menu. I wanted to see the menu. He saw the papers and selected the menu for that. On 20th, we all assembled in Whitefield. Myself, my father-in-law, my Mr. Tyagarajan, and my father wanted to go and invite Swami as per the procedure. We want to take blessing and start the proceedings. So Swami has already asked Ravi, have they come? So Ravi said, they have come. Can I ask them to start? Swami said in a stern voice, no, I will come, then only start. Then Swami came. Then my father-in-law garlanded Swami and took Padanamaskar. My father garlanded Swami and he took Padanamaskar. I did Padanamaskar and I offered sugar to Swami. They called it as a diamond sugar. So I offered sugar to Swami. He took little sugar. And all the three we invited Swami to the, it's the custom, all the three we invited Swami to the Kalyana Mandap and he came there. He saw the invitees and he sat there and the proceedings started. Here, my father's elder brother, he is a priest. He's a Purohit, so he was also there. The proceedings started. Then the Purohit said, Kashi Yatra. Then Swami said, பையங்கள் கிடைக்க மாட்டாங்க வேண்டாம், தட் இஸ் பாய்ஸ் வில் நாட் பி அவைலபிள், ஸோ டோன்ட் வாண்ட். சி ஹியர் ஐ வாண்ட் டு எக்ஸ்பிளைன் லிட்டில் அபவுட் காஷி யாத்ரா. தி காஷி யாத்ரா மீன்ஸ் the boy will be going along with a stick and a fan. He will be going along even with the Bhagavad Gita. He will be going outside the Kalyana Mandap. Then the girl's father will come and then tell him, you don't go to Kashi, I'll give my girl, then you get married to her. So everybody started laughing in the hall because when Swami said that boys will not be available, everybody started laughing. So then the marriage proceedings started. Meanwhile, my Mr. Tyagarajan talked to Ravi and said, she doesn't have a mother for kanyadanam. Dambatis has to do kanyadanam. So she doesn't have a mother, tell to Swami. Then he told Swami said, wait. Then as soon as the proceeding started, as soon as the priest said kanyadanam, Swami immediately got up from the chair, came to the stage and he said that she doesn't have a mother, these children doesn't have a mother, so I will do kanyadanam. So he was so sweet to do the kanyadanam and to my wife. Then subsequently he came to me and then said he materialized one mangalyam bottu with 6 threads it was there. So he materialized that. Then he called for turmeric paste. Then Swami was so patiently putting turmeric paste on that. Then he asked us, have you brought thali? Because we wanted Swami to give it. Have we brought thali? Because we had to keep it, So we had brought thali, we gave it to Swami. Swami even on that he put the turmeric paste. And then he asked me to first materialize thali he gave it to me and asked me to put it on the girl's neck. Secondly, he took the other Mangala Sutram and then asked me to tie it. Then afterwards he put lot of hashada and blessed us. And afterwards from the basket Swami took the garland, he gave it one to me to put it on the girl's neck and he gave another to her and to put it on my neck. But Swami was observing whether the flower also is falling down, garland also falling down correctly. He was even observing that. Then he said, this one, Deepam. That is an arati, what we take. So we thought that Swami asking for the drishti arati, so with kumkum and all they used to put it, they brought it that. Swami said, no, Mangal arati. Then we took arati, then we did namaskar and took arati to Swami, and we garlanded Swami, then did namaskar and then took arati to Swami. While going with folded hands, I was standing there, I was thanking Swami internally. Then while going, Swami gave me 2 sugar candy, and then he went downstairs. While coming down, while he was going to the mandir, B.K. Narasimhan sir came to Swami and said, Swami, you spent so much time for the marriage, almost an hour, you spent so much, we have not seen spending so much time for this. Swami said, Tomeva Madha cha Pita Tomeva Bandhu cha Saka Tomeva Vidya Dravinam Tomeva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. As you think of me, I respond accordingly. The children thought that I am their father, I am their mother, so I responded accordingly. I am like a mirror. Then it went on, and Swami has arranged for a very good lunch. Swami also partook the lunch. We had our lunch and then departed. In the evening, we had sent a few snacks and sweets to Swami. Swami tasted the snacks and they said the cook has made with devotion. Here what happened, now I can call him as my father-in-law. So my father-in-law, he has told the lady cook that you have to prepare all the bhashanams and snacks, the sweets and the Swami. Swami is arranging Swami is doing the wedding. So the cook immediately said that 11 numbers I will prepare everything and keep separately for Swami. I will not take money for that. So Swami has even blessed her praise in this. Then it went on like that, our activities went on like that, and in the year 1982, Swami blessed me with a son. So we have, myself and my wife decided that we will not name him. I had not taken even the birth certificate for him. Then after 2 years, 2 months, we had a family interview. In that, my son was there along with my wife. The son, as soon as Swami came, Swami said, Swami peru, Swami name. Swami said, chup. Then Swami said, Enna Kupringa, what are you calling him? So, Swami Sai. Then Swami said, Sai Girdhar Kupringo. Then I said, you call him as Sai Girdhar. Then the interview went on. See, in the interview, what has happened, my sister-in-law, Mrs. Vasanti, she was sitting on one side and she was holding Swami's feet, she was doing Padaseva. And on the other side, I was sitting and doing Padaseva to Swami. Then Vasanti said, Swami, I want to serve you. Then immediately I also said that, Swami, I also want to serve you. Then Swami said, everybody has to serve me. Then he said, then it was a very nice blessings. Then afterwards, Swami has sent word to the principal and called her. Vasanti was somewhere near the canteen, asked her for an application, then selected her, and even now she is working there in the institute. Then afterwards, subsequently, in another interview, myself and my wife was sitting very near to Swami. Then Swami, he just came from the chair and he put one hand on my wife's head and another on my head and said, wish you a happy, healthy, long married life. It was a great blessings for us. And then sometime, yes, he was questioned also. In one interview, he said that you are having hungry, she is having adamancy. You should correct, he said. Then it went on well like that. Then one interview, my co-brother, Mr. Varadarajan was also there, that is Vasanti's husband. So I was also there. Swami said that this person goes to bus stand and house and coming for a reservation. I am showing me. He said, he is also going along with him. Then we wanted to think about the registrations. Then Swami said, nice environment, nice Vatavaranam. Why can't you stay for 2 days? Then said, Swami, yes, Swami. And all. Then he went on. In one of the interview, maybe around late interviews, one of the interviews, we decided that we will not ask Swami. Swami has given us everything. We will not ask any Swami. We want to enjoy the darshan. So everybody thought like that. Then all of us were sitting there. As soon as Swami came, Swami said, Enna Samacharam, what is this thing? Then we are supposed to take. Then I told Swami, Swami, I should not forget you. Whatever may be the difficulties, I should not forget you. Swami said, Nee marandalo, na markamate. Even if you forget, I will not forget. Then I thought that I had not told properly. Then I said, Swami, இல்லை Swami, நான் மறக்கக்கூடாது, என்ன கஷ்டம் வந்தாலும் நான் உங்களை மறக்கக்கூடாது. Swami said, அதுதான் சொல்கிறேன், நீ மறந்தாலும் நான் மறக்க மாட்டேன். I will not forget you. So that was a great blessing. for me. In the year 1988, my son appeared for the interview for first standard in Puttaparthi. Then the principal asked him the question, who is God? Then he said, God is truth, truth is Satya, Satya is Satya Sai Baba. So those days, the list used to go to Swami, and Swami used to select the children. Swami even asked, I think one boy said like this, he was asking. Then he selected this thing. So 1988, we came to put him for admission. So after the admission, we are returned to Bangalore. We made the reservation. 10 o'clock we were supposed to return. So Swami came for interview, darshan. He picked up a few devotees for interview. We went inside and came. After coming back from the interview, immediately we went to my father and said, you come for an interview. All of a sudden he called him. Only my father he called him. So my father inside. So as soon as he went, he materialized Vibhuti and gave it to him. And he said, your children and grandchildren, I'll take care of you. Don't worry, I'll take care of them. And then he materialized this ring, saying Sai. Then he gave it to him, and he said, you have constructed your own house, so you can shift it there. My father was hesitating, because it was a remote place, so my father was hesitating a little. So Swami said, you shift it to the house. So we went. It was a very nice occasion. Then regarding the housewarming, we prepared the invitation. Then at that time, my wife went to give the invitation to Swami. A lot of crowd was there. So Swami, she was standing in the fourth row. Swami came and stood and stretched his hand with two fingers. He took the invitation. So we were very happy that Swami has taken it. Here what happened, we have arranged for all the items, and then we did the puja, and then Garbhasham. About 200 to 250 people has taken food. Then after the function is over, we saw that whatever rice we have bought for the function, it is not at all taken. On another rice, we were about 10 kgs were that it was used. For so many people, 10 kgs, we were really wondering. Then we found that this rice was given by my father-in-law, one Swami's devotee who stay near in Puttaparthi. He had his land, so he has given 10 kg, because then my father-in-law said, I am not using it here, you take it. We had kept it like that. Knowingly or unknowingly, we have used the rice, and that was sufficient for even for 200 to 250 people. That was another miracle, we have blessings we have got it from Swami. And then that is the then then Swami used to talk to my son a lot of time during his 8 years birthday, 9th year's birthday, 11th year's birthday. Swami used to talk to him. Swami used to materialize Vibhuti and put it on his forehead. Swami used to talk in Kulwant. Swami used to talk in Trai Brindavan. Swami used to talk outside Brindavan also. Used to talk to him. One day, on one of his birthday, Swami asked him, when are you going to going for holidays? He said that I don't want to go for holidays, Swami. I want to stay here. Why? I want to have your darshan and sparshan. Then Swami said, no, you must go to your parents and you must serve them. They said, you are my father and mother, Swami. No, you must go to your parents, because they have given you blood, food, head and money. So you must go there. Then Swami asked him, how many brothers you have? He said, I have got 3 brothers. No, you must say, all are your brothers and sisters. Then he said, yes, Swami, all are my brothers and my sisters. Then Swami again questioned him, all are your brothers and sisters? Then he said, yes. No, all are your brothers and sisters except wife, he said. Then Swami said, you want me, you want wife, or you want me? Then he said, Swami, I want only you. Then he patted him. And another occasion, he said, do you want wife, mother, father, or apple? Then he said, no, I want only you, Swami. Why you want only me? Because you are permanent, you are the truth, you are the universe, Lord of the universe. How do you know you know that I am Lord of the universe? Because you are Satya, you are truth. Then Swami said, you are also truth. Yes, Swami, everybody is truth. If you are truth, you are God. Then, yes, Swami, all are God. How do you say all are God? Because God is there in everybody's heart. Physical heart or spiritual heart? Then he said, pure heart. So Swami patted him and this thing. And then in one of this thing, while we were discussing, you asked him, you like Rama or Krishna? Then he said, I would like only you, Swami. Then Swami said, see, I am not Krishna. I don't have a flute or I don't have a crown. I am not Vishnu and I don't have a Shangu or a chakra. So then he said, no, Swami, we can see this only through spiritual eye. Then he continued telling Swami, in Mahabharata, Krishna has taken Vishwarupa, but Arjuna was not able to see that until Krishna blessed him. Similarly, we request Swami's grace to know about that. Swami told to the VIPs, see how this Swami's boy is talking, and then one of the senior devotees said, Swami, it's because of their good samskaram, he said. Then Swami said, no, the whole family is devoted to me, that's why he's talking like that. Then it was a very nice occasion, this one. And I had a great desire to join in one of Swami's institute, and so I took VR. After 21 years of service, I took VRS from a company. So they were not relieved me, but I told them I want to go for Swami's work. So I was relieved on 31st July 2000. Then I immediately came to my sister-in-law, Dr. Kamashi, and told her that I wanted to work in the hospital. She was already working in general hospital since 1991. So she was positive, said, I'll talk to the authorities and I'll tell them that you are interested. So she talked to them and they said, you come for an interview. They called me for an interview. So some senior officer was there. He was telling me, we are about to start recruitment, so you have to work in personal department. So I will tell you the job. You tell me whether you are prepared to accept it. Then he told me that you will be receiving application, you have to enter it in the register, you have to sort out the application, you have to sort out for various posts, then you have to arrange for the interview, sometimes you may have to conduct the interview, then once it is shortlisted, you have to give the appointment order, and then you have to, while they come for entry joining, you have to enter it in the register and the ID card and other works like that. Even there are certain departments, because it's the beginning of the hospital, certain departments you have to arrange to start. I said I had a vast experience in my earlier office. I said yes, I am prepared to take the challenge. So Swami has blessed me in all this thing. Then we started. It was a hectic work, but our joy had no bounds, because Swami used to visit very often. Swami used to interact with people. Swami used to talk to us every time. So, and even with his darshan was so nice those days. I used to come from Padmanabh Nagar, from the city, about 40 kilometers from there. So morning 6 o'clock I used to leave, and evening around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock I used to reach back because of the traffic. And then it went on like that for few months. Then from the institute they had arranged for a pickup facility. One pickup van used to come, and near corporation. So all of us, a few other members were there. All of us used to get into the van, and then we used to come to for work. While traveling, we used to discuss about Swami's miracle and Ramayana Mahadam written by Swami. We used to talk about that, and then if anybody is coming for a project, we used to pick them up all, then used to come. It was a very nice this thing. During rainy season, we used to come by chapel, and while going, we used to go by the shoes. Shoe means mud shoe. Lot of mud used to be there, so we used to go by this one. This went on well like this. Then Swami inaugurated on 19th January 2001. Swami inaugurated along with the then Prime Minister Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Then it was a very nice this one. Then one day Swami used to visit very frequently. One day Swami came to the administration department. He came outside. He asked one of the senior devotee in Kannada, "Ee thara hospital kettbeku andre eshtu varsha agutte? Then how much time it will take to construct a hospital like this for government?" Then the devotee said, ಎರಡು ಮೂರು ವರ್ಷ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ, it may take 2 to 3 years. Then Swami said, ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Then Swami said, within 1 year they have constructed. Then Swami proceeded. He wanted to get into the step, so I was lucky enough to hold Swami's hand. Then we put up to the end of the steps. Then after seeing that is opposite to the canteen it was, then Swami saw the road. Swami said, "Idi emi," in Telugu asked, "Idi emi?" Yes, what is this? Then one senior devotee said, "Swami, idi road." "Idi road, ah? Is it road?" Because a lot of mud is to be there. Even outside there are no such roads like what we have in our hospital. So Swami was so surprised this one. Then it was a nice occasion. During those days, what happened? Now we have physically seen Swami's happiness. Swami used to tell all the people, "Have you seen and gone seen the hospital?" You go and visit the hospital every time. One day, Swami sent few senior devotees to the hospital. "You go and see the hospital, I'll come." Then they came, as Swami came. Swami asked, "How is the hospital?" They said, "Swami, it's a huge hospital, so brilliant. Swami, we are very glad. Your children are working here." Swami was so happy. You have to see his face. Literally, you have to see his face. Now, because so happy. They are telling about his hospital and they are telling about his children. So Swami was very happy, and it went on like that. During visits, Swami used to play with us. See, when Swami used to come, we used to assemble near gate number 2. So when we assemble in gate number 2, Swami used to come through gate number 1. We thinking that Swami will come through gate number 1, Swami will come, at that time Swami will come through gate number 2. So once what he said that, some people have stayed in gate number 2 and some people have stayed in gate number 1. Swami came through gate number 3. So like that Swami used to play with us. It was a nice occasion. We had a nice time on this one. And then I had the responsibility of conducting my son's marriage. So 2 years we have waited. It was very difficult. During my marriage, Swami said that getting boys was difficult, but for my son's marriage, getting girls was very difficult. So 2 of my hospital friends, they helped me. They contacted one girl. She was working here actually. She was, then after the contract is over, she went outside. She was working in another hospital. She was about to leave that hospital. He already resigned and he was about to leave the hospital and go, because she was a very good worker. She was sincere and very hard worker. They had not relieved her immediately. Meanwhile, through somebody, through my friends, we contacted her. So we said that, my friends said that, I know their parents and the boy is working here. If you are interested, you talk to your parents and let you know. So she talked to her parents. So her parents said that if it's a good family, you can go ahead. So like that, the marriage went on well. And before the marriage, my sister-in-law, Mrs. Vasanthi, was thinking, Swami, my sister has to contact, so much work is there, how she is going to perform this and all. So she about 2 days before the wedding, she got a dream. Swami said that, why are you worried? Why are you worried? I am only conducting, he said. So the marriage went on well. All the staff members and the doctors, they came and blessed the couple. They made us very happy. It was very nice. It went on well like that. And a few more instances, Swami used to sometimes bless us in advance. See, what happened, one day, one of the doctor, who is also my family friend, he came. He said, I had an interview with Swami along with my uncle. Swami has given few Vibhuti packets, so I want to give one to him. So he gave it to me, and then immediately I kept it on the altar. Then next day, my son went for one of his friend's sister's wedding in Domlur. While coming, he met with an accident, and then he, along with the friend, he came to the casualty department. He got admitted. They telephoned and told me that your son is admitted here. So immediately, I got only this Vibhuti and took this Vibhuti and went there, and I applied to him. Then they took the scan. They said, the doctor said that even if it's a 1/4 millimeter inside, you should have had serious repercussions and all. Then a lot of swelling was there on his face. After 2 days, we went to Parthi. We had Swami's darshan, and he was all right. And another instance, sometimes Swami used to bless us according to seniority. I'll tell you a beautiful instance here. What happened, my father retired from the service, and then at that time, I had one elder sister and a younger sister to get married. I thought that I will help my father to the extent possible financially. So I used to apply to all the companies. Those days, we used to come with the boss box number used to be there. So I used to apply. My father said, no, I cannot sit idle at home, so I am also applying. So he also started applying. See, my name is also H.Hariharan. My father's name is also H.Hariharan, because traditionally it comes. This is Lord Ayyappa's. We have a temple in our native place. We have our own temple. So those names we have kept it. Then he received an interview card. Then my father went for the interview. As soon as he entered, the manager asked me, "Sir, are you Mr. Hariharan?" My father said, "Yes, I am Hariharan." Sir, you hesitatingly said, "Sir, the age is written as 24. Then my father saw the application. Then he said, "This is my son's application. I'm sorry," he said. Then they started talking and all. You won't believe, he got an appointment there. This was in Unity building in city. He got the appointment. He worked there also. So here, Swami blessed him with the appointment. Subsequently, he gave me another job here. So this went on. Swami's miracles is because we cannot express it in this one, because at this stage, then my relations, my father-in-law, my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, everybody helped me in my life, and I am very grateful to my uncle, because of him only I came to Swami. My uncle and auntie, because of him only I came. I am grateful to my father and mother, because of only I continue my thing. I am grateful to my sister-in-laws and my brother-in-law. And because they helped me in various interviews, they helped me in Swami's activities. When I met Ravi, after Swami has introduced Ravi to me, then I met him in Brindavan, outside Brindavan. Then he said, "I am not brother-in-law, I am brother-in-law. I am still a recipient of his love." And with my little knowledge, what I understood was, so many avatars may come, so many avatars may go, whether another avatars may know, but I don't think compassionate love avatar like Swami can come anymore. He's unique, unique. Sai Ram.
యత్ పిండే తత్ బ్రహ్మాండే అన్నారు. పిండములో ఉన్నటువంటిదే బ్రహ్మాండమునందు కూడా ఉంటున్నది.
That which is contained in Pinda is present in Brahmanda, the universe.
బ్రహ్మాండమును విరాట స్వరూపమని,
The Brahmanda is the very form of the cosmic form.
పిండాండమును అణుతత్వమని
The Pindanda stands for atomic
మనం
power.
భావిస్తున్నాము.
We consider like
ఇది
that.
చాలా పొరపాటు.
It's a mistaken idea.
అణువునందు ఉన్నటువంటిదే ఘనమునందు కూడాను ఉంటున్నది.
That which is present in an atom is present.
అణు ఘనమునకు ఎట్టి భేదము కూడాను లేదు.
There's no difference between microcosm and the macrocosm.
చిన్న విత్తనములో ఘనమైనటువంటి పెద్ద వృక్షం ఉంటున్నది.
In a small tiny seed there is a gigantic tree.
ఈ యొక్క విశాలమైనటువంటి పెద్ద వృక్షమంతా కూడాను చిన్న విత్తనంలోనే ఇమిడి ఉంటున్నది.
That big tree is contained within a seed.
విరాట స్వరూపమనగా అనేక వస్తువుల యొక్క చేరిక కాదు.
The cosmic form is not the combination of objects.
అనేకత్వం యొక్క ఏకత్వం కూడాను కాదు.
It's not unity in diversity.
విరాటత్వం అనగా సర్వస్వం కూడాను కూడినటువంటిదే విరాటత్వం.
Cosmic form is the one which exists everywhere.
దీనికి వృక్షమునకు విత్తనమునకు ఉండినటువంటి భేదమే.
This is the difference between the seed and the tree.
విత్తనమునందు మనకు మహావృక్షం మనకు గోచరించదు.
Within a seed we don't find the tree.
అదే అణుమాత్రమైనటువంటి యొక్క తత్వము.
That is the atomic principle there.
ఆ అణువునందే ఘనము ఏర్పడి ఉంటున్నది.
Within that atom lies the macrocosm.
ఈ బ్రహ్మాండమైన వృక్షమంతా కూడాను ఈ అణుమాత్రమైనటువంటి విత్తనం నందే ఇమిడి ఉంటున్నది.
That huge tree lies within the tiny seed.
విత్తనము లేక వృక్షము, వృక్షము లేక విత్తనము ఉండుటకు వీలు కాదు.
Without the seed, tree cannot exist, nor the tree without
ఇవి
the seed.
రెండును అవినాభావ సంబంధము, అన్యోన్య ఆశ్రయము.
Both are interdependent and interrelated.
అదే విధంగానే మానవునకును దేవునకు ఉండినటువంటి వ్యత్యాసము ఏమాత్రం కూడా లేదు.
Similarly, there is no difference between God and man.
దైవత్వం నందు ఉన్నటువంటి యొక్క దివ్యత్వమే మానవత్వం నందు కూడా ఉంటున్నది.
The divinity present in God is present in man
కానీ
also.
మనకు అది గోచరించడానికి వీలు కానటువంటి స్థితిలో ఉంటున్నది.
But it's not so easy to recognize this factor.
అగ్గిపులలో నిండుగా అగ్ని ఉంటున్నది.
In matchstick there's a lot of fire.
కానీ అది నీటిలో తడపడం చేత ఎన్ని విధములు గీచినప్పటికీ అది అగ్ని ఆవిర్భవించదు.
When you make it wet, however well you may rub, you don't get the fire.
అదే విధంగానే ప్రతి మానవుని యందు కూడాను జ్ఞానాగ్ని, దివ్యాగ్ని, తేజోగ్ని నిండి ఉంటున్నది.
Similarly, in every man there lies the fire of wisdom, there lies the fire of sacredness.
కానీ అది ఎన్ని సాధనలు చేసినప్పటికీ,
That in spite of all spiritual
ఎంత
practice,
తపస్సు ఆచరించినప్పటికీ,
in spite of penance,
ఎన్ని సత్కర్మలు సల్పినప్పటికీ
in spite of good actions,
అది ఏమాత్రం మనకు గోచరము కావటం లేదు.
we are not able to see it.
సాక్షాత్కరించటం లేదు.
We are not able to see it in form.
కారణం ఏమిటి?
What's the reason?
ఆ యొక్క మనోతత్వము
The nature of the mind,
అహంకారం, మమకారం అనేటువంటి నీటి యందు తడపబడటం చేతనే ఈ యొక్క దివ్యాగ్ని మనకు గోచరం కాలేకపోతున్నది.
as it is made wet in the waters of ego and attachment, we are not able to get the fire.
కనుక ఈ యొక్క అభిమాన మమకారం అనేటువంటి నీటితో తడిపినటువంటి యొక్క ఈ మనస్సును వైరాగ్యం అనేటువంటి యొక్క సూర్యరశ్మిలో విడిచినప్పుడే ఇది ప్రకాశవంతమైనటువంటి జీవితాన్ని అందిస్తుంది.
When this is made wet because of attachment and also of that ego, when it is dried up in sunshine, you can get the fire.
మానవునికి అన్నీ తెలుసు.
Man knows everything.
ఏ దేశమునందు ఏ కర్మలు ఏ విధమైనటువంటి యొక్క పరివర్తన జరుగుతున్నదని కూడా తెలుసును.
He knows all kinds of changes taking place in all countries.
కానీ తన తత్వాన్ని మాత్రం తాను తెలుసుకోలేకపోతున్నాడు.
But he is not able to know his own self.
ఎన్ని తెలిసి ఏమి ప్రయోజనం?
What is the fun of knowing everything?
ఎన్ని విద్యలు నేర్చి ఏమి ఫలం?
What is the fun of learning all forms of
తన
education?
నొసట వ్రాత తప్పించే ఎవరి తరం?
Nobody can make you escape from
చెడ్డ
destiny.
బుద్ధులు తను చేరనేని
When bad thoughts enter into the brain,
ఎండబారును బుద్ధులు బండబారు అని.
our intelligence becomes perverted.
కనుక మన తెలివితేటలు ఇందుకు ఏమాత్రము పనికిరావు.
So our intelligence is of no use.
మన బుద్ధి కుశలతలు ఇందుకు ఏమాత్రము పనికిరావు.
Our intellect is of no value.
మన ధనకనక వస్తువాహనాదుల యొక్క అహంకారం ఇందుకు ఏమంత్రము పనికిరావు.
The power and the pelf and prosperity, the ego has no place.
దివ్యమైన భావము, నవ్యమైన నడత,
The divine feelings and the proper conduct,
దేశం యొక్క సౌభాగ్యం అంతా కూడాను ఆకాశం నుండి ఉట్టిపడలేదు.
The welfare of the country does not descend from sky.
భూమి నుండి పుట్టి రాలేదు.
It doesn't grow from earth.
మానవుడి యొక్క నడతల నుండి మన యొక్క సౌభాగ్యం అభివృద్ధి చెందుతున్నది.
Basing on the human conduct, the prosperity lies.
కనుక ఈనాడు మానవుని యొక్క నడతలు పవిత్రమైనదిగా మనం తీర్చిదిద్దుకోవాలి.
So we have to shape out the human behavior as sacred.
గోవిందం భజమూఢమతే గోవిందం గోవిందం భజమూఢమతే సంప్రాప్తే సన్నిహితే కాలే సంప్రాప్తే సన్నిహితే నకి నకి రక్షతి దుఃఖకరణే గోవిందం భజమూఢమతే పునరపి జననం పునరపి మరణం పునరపి జననీ జఠరే శయనం గోవిందం భజమూఢమతే గోవిందం భజమూఢమతే ఇహ సంసారే బహు దుఃఖారే కృపయా పారే పాహి మురారే గోవిందం భజమూఢమతే గోవిందం భజమూఢమతే గోవిందం భజమూఢమతే గోవిందం భజమూఢమతే గోవిందం భజమూఢమతే